Yeah.
Hello. We're doing a Pixar pitch. So, once upon a time,
There was a teacher who went to a school, planned her lessons, loved her students, and felt really good about work when she left at the end of the day. Although we did that every day.
then one day,
She realises that her students weren't carrying their learning from class to class, from teacher to teacher, and from year to year. Does that sound familiar?
so because of that,
She started asking why. And she realised that students couldn't connect their knowledge to different contexts. For example, they were doing the same thing in English and yet they couldn't do it in media.
so because of that,
The teacher realised the importance of using critical and creative thinking to develop our students a little bit further.
until finally,
She convinced all other teachers at her school to jump on board.
Well, once upon a time there was a Mark teacher that travelled around the countryside. Every day she taught at a different school, reading picture books to the students and helping them make connections to text. One day she was asked to teach critical and creative thinking. Because of that, she spent 2 days at the Marriot in Melbourne listening to and working with Bill Lucas, Sharon Foster and Michelle Anderson. Because of that, she realised that aspects of critical and creative thinking needed to be taught explicitly across the curriculum using the same language to help transfer the descriptors to other subjects and their everyday life. Finally, the Committee of Management realised that the burden of teaching critical and creative thinking wasn't just Jocelyn's, but all the teaching staff.
Once upon a time, there were a group of students who completely discarded everything, both figuratively and literally, everything they learned after the unit was over. Every day they would come to class and sigh about how they would ever use these skills after they left school and question the relevance of it all. Then one day their teachers sat down together and worked out how the different domain areas were connected and came up with a common language. Because of that, they could tell their students that the drafting skills they learnt in English would be useful for the designing project they were undertaking in visual design and development. Because of that, the students could see that skills and knowledge were not just for school, but could also be applied to their everyday life and might even come in handy when they apply for jobs. Finally, the teachers saw an improvement in their students' engagement and reaped the benefits of teaching for transfer.
Yay!
Once upon a time, Einstein said, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think.
Every day we need to think in order to solve problems and make sense of the world.
One day, thinking became part of the curriculum. Again.
Because of that, teachers needed to use their metacognition skills to re-examine their practice.
Because of that, they taught critical and creative thinking skills to be transferred across the curriculum and into the real world.
Until finally, students could become creative, innovative, I can't say that word, enterprising and adaptable citizens.
Once upon a time, there were separate subjects in schools. Everyday students would study discrete topics at separated times. Then one day the teachers decided to meld some of the subjects because they required crossover skills. Because of that, the teachers talked to each other and collaborated about critical and creative thinking and transfer. Because of that, they realised there was more crossover and more meaningful learning to be had in a real-world context. And finally, everyone was happy because they were really being prepared for the real world as lifelong learners. They had learned how to learn in any context or subject area and transfer the skills between subjects, primary, high school, tertiary, and life.
Yay! Hang on.
Yeah.